All right, for this visual motor activity, you're going to need a stack of Post-it notes and scissors. We're going to continue with the cutting activities, but we're also going to add in a component of folding paper, and we're going to use the Post-it notes to do that. So it's something very manageable. So let me spin my camera around. Hopefully I can do this efficiently. All right. And this activity, what we're going to do here is you're going to take one Post-it note, and it's good because it's got the sticky on the back, so it helps a student to get, even if they have a hard time, it helps them get close. So even if they don't quite get it lined up, that's not too bad, okay? What we want to do is we want to encourage them when they fold the paper, is we want to try to get those corners as good as we can. So if we get one corner pretty good, then the next corner should not be far off either. You see, you can't always get it perfectly, but then after you've done that, you also want to make sure you get that crease down. So you come over here and you push with your index finger, and you get a nice flat line there. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is have your student, you can have, depending on how hard this is, you can have them do, a couple of these, or you can have them do 10 or more. But just really want to practice getting that paper lined up as best they can, creasing it. All right. We're just going to do 2 of them here for our activity, but I would encourage you to do, to have maybe 10 for your students so they get their repetition. The reason I chose to use Post-it notes for this activity was that they're small, so they're very manageable for a student. It's a little easier than trying to fold a huge sheet of paper in half, I think. And then when you add in this next thing with the scissors, it gives them the satisfaction of cutting all the way across the paper. So what they're going to do is they're just going to cut this paper in half. And if you remember from the previous activity where we had a line for them, you can add that. But what you're going to find with this activity is their scissors ought to clear the whole thing in a single cut, unless they're using really tiny scissors. So you got that. You've folded your paper in half or close to half. You got a place to cut. And remember how they put their hand in the scissors. So thumb goes in the little hole, and the other finger's in this hole. All right, so to make sure this hand is out of the way, remember we're using the open hand to cut. All right, and then you're just going to line up on that, and when you cut across it, boom, you've done the job. You cut the thing in half, okay? And so we'll just cut this other one in half as well. So line it up, and you cut it, all right? And, it gives you good feedback, too, with the cutting because it's, the paper's a little thicker after it's folded over, so it's a nice feel to the cut, all right? So that's that for this activity. You can have them do as many or as few as you want them to do. If you've got plenty of extra Post-it notes around, like I do, you can let them have at it, and they get lots of practice cutting. And the more they practice, especially doing it the right way, the better they're going to get. All right, that's it for today.